Hare Krishna. বাংলায় অনুবাদ করবেন হিজ গ্রেস আরাধ্য ভগবান প্রভু। যাদের মহারাজের লেকচার বাংলায় শুনতে হবে তারা তুলাদানের যে সেটআপ রয়েছে তার সামনে চলে যান, এখন থেকেই চলে যান, তাহলে সুবিধা হবে। মহারাজ ইংলিশে ক্লাস দেবেন, যারা যারা বাংলায় অনুবাদ শুনতে চান হিজ গ্রেস আরাধ্য ভগবান প্রভু তুলাদানের যে সেটআপ রয়েছে তার সামনে বাংলায় অনুবাদ করবেন। আপনারা যারা বাংলায় শুনতে চলে যান তারা এখনই তুলাদানের সেটআপের সামনে চলে যান। থ্যাংক ইউ। হ্যাঁ, এখানে যে তুলা গ্রন্থ তুলা যেটা সেট করা আছে ওইখানটাতে। ওকে, কন্টিনিউ।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Hare. Jai Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Sri Radhe. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj ki সবাই একটু উলুধ্বনি দিন মায়েরা হরি বল উলুধ্বনি প্রভুরা হরি বল বলুন সবাই হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল
So, will we need any translation?
Translation will be simultaneously in the back side of the...
Okay.
Can I introduce you?
Okay.
Hare Krishna. So, with Maharaj's permission, very humbly I like to introduce Maharaj to all of you. Maharaj was born in Chicago in a very affluent family. His father was a lawyer, later he was promoted to a judge. In 1969, Maharaj, while studying in Brandeis University, Boston, he first met His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And then when he interacted with Prabhupada for the first time, Maharaj felt that whatever he had learned in whole his life is less than what he learned from Srila Prabhupada in one interaction. Then after graduation, Maharaj accepted formal initiation and became Giriraj Das. And then he joined Boston Temple. and he was assisting there in that temple. And in 1970, Srila Prabhupada actually called all the devotees, many devotees from West. So Maharaj writes that all the devotees were practically second in command in each of the temples were called in to assist Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj was there in that team, and Maharaj came with Srila Prabhupada in Kolkata, means in India. And then in 1972, Prabhupada appointed Maharaj as President of ISKCON Bombay and Trustee of Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Since then, Maharaj is making significant contribution in Prabhupada's mission, most notably the development of Hare Krishna land in Juhu and managing the worldwide movement, right? So in 1978, after Srila Prabhupada disappears, Maharaj had taken sannyas, and 1982 Maharaj was appointed as ISKCON's governing body commissioner, and his zones were in Bombay, Mauritius, South Africa, Spain, Portugal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and presently Maharaj is a emeritus member of GBC and an initiating guru. Maharaj was also instrumental in acquisition and development of Bhaktivedanta Ashram in Govardhan, and Akirtan Ashram for the women, Bhaktivedanta Hospice, Vrindavan Institute of Palliative Care. In all these things are in Vrindavan, and Maharaj is very known for his love, care, fundraising abilities throughout the world. And he is also one of the very beginning teachers of VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. What instruction personally Maharaj got from Srila Prabhupada was to write books. So right now Maharaj is based on Carpentria, California, and he is focusing on writing books. Maharaj has written many books like Watering the Seed, Many Moons, Life's Final Exam, Death, and obviously I Will Build You a Temple. So we are so very happy, grateful, jolly, feeling blessed to invite, to have Maharaj's holy association in this temple. Maharaj writes that in front of this window, Maharaj had a long discussion with, that time, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Prabhu, for a long time in late night. Maharaj writes in his books in this temple. So it's so very happy and so very grateful and feeling so spiritually surcharged by having Maharaj. We'll welcome Maharaj in our traditional way by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So I will request all the devotees to keep their phones in silent mode, and those devotees who need translation in Bengali, যাদের বাংলায় অনুবাদ দরকার, His Grace আরাধ্য ভগবান প্রভু নতুন লিফটের সামনে বাংলায় অনুবাদ করছেন, আপনারা সেখানে গিয়ে বাংলায় অনুবাদ শুনতে পারেন। থ্যাংক ইউ। প্লিজ আপনারা আপনাদের ফোনগুলোকে সাইলেন্ট মোডে রাখুন।
Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. I will begin by singing the Mangala Charana prayers and leading a short kirtan, and then I will speak about my experiences with Srila Prabhupada in Calcutta. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunatham Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsta Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Vishnu Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Gaur. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. So I will read some excerpts from my book, Watering the Seed, and comment. These excerpts will relate to my interactions with Srila Prabhupada in Calcutta. In October of 1971, my parents came to see me in Calcutta. I wasn't really sure how to deal with my parents' visit, and I asked Srila Prabhupada, and he said, you have to spend time with them. So I did. We visited some tourist places, and I introduced them to meet some of my friends. In October of 1971, my parents came to see me in Calcutta. While Srila Prabhupada was talking with some of his disciples in his quarters, my parents entered. Srila Prabhupada received them warmly. So Srila Prabhupada spoke in such a skillful and expert way to remove my father's prejudices. He said that he had a pharmacy, and one of his customers in Allahabad was Motilal Nehru, the father of Jawaharlal Nehru, who became the Prime Minister of India. And he said that Motilal Nehru was a made in England man. That Srila Prabhupada could have the same product made in India and the same product made in England, and the product made in England would cost 2 or 3 or 4 times more than the product made in India. But Motilal Nehru was a made in England man, made in England. And in a subtle way, Srila Prabhupada was pointing out the prejudice in favor of the West over India. Then he told my father, I say my father, both of my parents, he told my father, told him that he had a son named Jawaharlal who was useless. So he was thinking of giving him to the freedom movement. So this also worked on my father's prejudices. He might have thought that, someone's prime minister is a big man, he must have some special qualification. But Srila Prabhupada was saying that's not necessarily the case. It could be quite the opposite. So then, so after hearing Srila Prabhupada speak for some time, my parents finally came to the point. They wanted me back. Srila Prabhupada said, "Your son." I said, "I want to stay with Srila Prabhupada." My father said, "We want to set up a big trust for my son, and we want him to come home to sign the papers." Srila Prabhupada replied, "Yes." And he can sign. My parents said that they had no objection to my remaining in the movement, but they did not want my health to deteriorate. So they wanted me to be stationed near home. In those days, people such as my parents thought if you didn't eat meat, you wouldn't get enough protein. So my parents said that they had no objection to my remaining in the movement, but that they did not want my health to deteriorate. So they wanted me to be stationed near home. Srila Prabhupada said, "Don't worry, I will take personal care of him." My parents were still apprehensive. So Srila Prabhupada said, "Let him stay with me in India for some months more, and I will take personal care of him. Then, when I return to America in April, he can come with me." With my parents somewhat relieved, I said, "Just see how intelligent Srila Prabhupada is. In the winter, when the Western countries are cold and dark, Srila Prabhupada stays in India. And in the summer, when the West is warm and sunny, Srila Prabhupada goes there." My father was becoming enlivened by Srila Prabhupada, and he affirmed, yes, he is very intelligent. Srila Prabhupada said, no, your son is intelligent. He has understood my strategy. My father said, no, you are intelligent, actually. Srila Prabhupada replied, what? Otherwise, how could I attract so many intelligent young men like your son? My mother was still thinking of my poor health and long absence from home, and she began to cry. To cheer her, Srila Prabhupada gave her a sandesh. Keeps sweets on his table, and especially in Kolkata, he would have sandesh or rasgulla. To cheer her, Srila Prabhupada gave her a sandesh. At first, my mother wouldn't accept, but Srila Prabhupada's kind and gentle persistence prevailed. Then he told her, these sweets, sandesh and rasgulla, are made of cheese and are very high in protein. Then he said, Giriraj, you must eat at least 2 dozen sandesh and rasgulla every day. Which I'm still working on. Then Srila Prabhupada assured my parents, I will personally see that he is supplied with sufficient sandesh. Do not worry. Everyone was thoroughly pleased and satisfied by Srila Prabhupada's loving dealings. As my father was leaving the room, he said to me, well, I can say 2 things about your master. He is a brilliant organizer, and he really knows how to deal with people. And in my father's value system, those were the highest compliments. Then as a postscript to this, from Kolkata I went to Madras, and in Madras I was staying at different people's homes and eating a lot of idlis and dosa and sambar, and I put on weight. And when Srila Prabhupada, then I arranged a program for Srila Prabhupada. He came to Madras, and when he came and he saw that I had gained weight, he said I should take a picture of myself and send it to my mother, so she would feel satisfied that I was healthy. So then, now we'll come to another significant conversation with Srila Prabhupada. The first Bombay Panda was a great success, and almost immediately Srila Prabhupada sent Tamal Krishna and me to Calcutta to organize a similar program there. After Srila Prabhupada instructed me to write, I had more questions about my service. I had other duties, and also realized that I wasn't able to just sit down and write all day. I really wanted to understand what I should do. Although I thought about it carefully, I felt that only Srila Prabhupada could answer my questions. But the devotees' mood was that one should not disturb Srila Prabhupada or approach him directly. Still, many questions weighed on my mind. Finally, one day at the site of the Pandal, I told Yamuna Devi that I had some questions to ask Srila Prabhupada, but that I didn't want to disturb him. And I told her what the questions were. "No," she replied, "you are just the type of devotee Srila Prabhupada would want to spend time with. And these are just the types of questions he would want to answer." Encouraged by Yamuna's words, I approached Srila Prabhupada in his room in Calcutta, just here, and began. Before joining the movement, I made movies, and I had a film I made won an award. So I was thinking maybe I should make movies about Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada replied, "That others are doing." At the time, all we had were some rough movies made by Damodar, so I thought, well, if Prabhupada thinks that's enough, making movies must not be very important. Then Prabhupada explained, "Our main medium is books." Then I said, "I also think of cultivating important people." "Oh, that is very important," Prabhupada replied. "You should do that." Then I asked, suppose in the course of time, by the gradual development of Krishna consciousness, I become expert at everything. Suppose I become a perfect preacher and at the same time a perfect manager. What should Prabhupada replied? "You should preach." Srila Prabhupada had given me the clear direction I needed, and I left the room feeling much lighter. I also asked one other important question. "Srila Prabhupada, now you are here, so everything is all right. But what if, in the course of time, when you are not here, ISKCON falls from the standard? What should I do?" Srila Prabhupada replied, "You are also one of the important members of the society, so you work for the correction, but don't leave." I did not consider myself an important member of the society. Still, I knew that Srila Prabhupada had given an important instruction for the future. During the course of the Pandal, I was struck by the fact that Srila Prabhupada preached the same way to every audience. So I approached him to clarify one thought. This is me asking Srila Prabhupada. Krishna consciousness is the perfection of every discipline and endeavor. Yet I see you preach more or less the same to everyone. Why don't we explain Krishna consciousness is the perfect communism, or Krishna consciousness is the perfect welfare work, or psychology, or social, or economic, or political system? Why do we just present the same philosophy, the same general philosophy every time? Srila Prabhupada replied, Unless someone is convinced of the philosophy and has practical experience of it in his personal life, he will not feel the inspiration to apply it in his occupational duty. So we preach to convince everyone that he is not the body, that he is the eternal servant of Krishna, and that he can realize Krishna by chanting the holy names. Srila Prabhupada's answer made sense and entered my heart. Srila Prabhupada gave us so much service we hardly had time to chant our rounds, what to speak of read his books. Although I knew that by serving Srila Prabhupada I was doing the best for myself and for all living entities, I still lamented that I had so little time to read his books. Srila Prabhupada must have understood my concern, so one day he spoke to me. I didn't articulate my concern or my anxiety, but he must have read my mind, and he addressed my concern without my even bringing it up. So he quoted this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-18. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavat yuchyama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By reading the book Bhagavat or by serving the person Bhagavat, one gets the same result. Just by serving the person Bhagavat, this isn't the translation from the Bhagavatam, this is Srila Prabhupada speaking to me. By reading the book Bhagavat or by serving the person Bhagavat, one gets the same result. Just by serving the person Bhagavat, all the truths of the book Bhagavat are revealed, even if you do not read the book. Thus I continued my service to the person Bhagavat, Srila Prabhupada, with full conviction and enthusiasm. There was a minister in the government of West Bengal named Tarun Kanti Ghosh, who came from a family of great devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we greeted him with Hare Krishna, he would respond with Jai Gaur. His family's daily newspaper, Amrita Bazar Patrika, had publicized Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's efforts to build a temple and regularly featured discourses by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and reported on his activities. Is that newspaper still there? Amrita Bazar Patrika. Being wealthy and influential, Tarun Kanti Ghosh went into politics and became successful. One afternoon, Tarun Kanti came to visit Srila Prabhupada at the Calcutta temple. He told Prabhupada that he had gone to a yogi who had mystic powers and that the yogi had materialized an apple and given him a slice. Tarun Babu, as Prabhupada called him, was quite impressed. But Prabhupada gave a different perspective. Yes, he can produce one apple, but what about Krishna? Krishna can produce an apple tree that will produce so many apples, and within every apple are so many seeds, and every seed can produce another tree that in turn can produce so many apples and so many more seeds and trees. And there are so many apple trees, not just on our planet, but on many other planets. That is Krishna's mystic power. Then Srila Prabhupada said, if we make friends with Krishna, Krishna can give us any number of apples. And practically it is happening. We have so many centers all over the world, with so many devotees and so many guests coming daily. And every day we are offering and distributing so many apples. Where are the apples coming from? Our devotees are not going to the factory or the office to work. Where are the apples coming from? Krishna is supplying them. So we are not interested in making friends with some yogi who can give us one slice of apple. We are interested in becoming friends with Krishna, who can give us any number of apples. After the discussion in his room, Prabhupada was going to a program to give a lecture, and Tarun Kanti wanted to accompany him. So we all went in the same car. Srila Prabhupada in the front with the driver, and I in the back with Tarun Babu. He asked, I don't know what to do about my political career. Sometimes I think I should just get out of politics and concentrate more on devotion. And sometimes I think I can use my political position to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. What should I do? I was just a young man and didn't really know what to say, so I began, it could be good if you can use your position to serve Krishna, but then again, Srila Prabhupada overheard us, turned around and said, no. Politics is a dirty game. You should get out. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After I joined in Boston, Srila Prabhupada formed the GBC. And somehow I thought the GBC members were in a different category from the rest of us. Then one of the GBC members fell down. Still, I thought it was a fluke and tried to discount it. Later, when another GBC member fell, I had some doubt. So I asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, you know everything about us. You know us better than we know ourselves. Yet sometimes we see you put someone in an exalted position and then he falls down. How is that? Srila Prabhupada replied, the living entity is always marginal. So whatever position he is in, he can use it either for Krishna's service or for personal sense gratification. In other words, the spiritual master places the disciple in the best position for devotional service, but the disciple can always misuse the position for personal gratification and fall down. One day, while Srila Prabhupada was taking his massage on the balcony in Calcutta, I humbly approached him. Srila Prabhupada, I have been trying to understand what you want of us, what your desire is. Srila Prabhupada was so pure, he took every word into his heart. Yes? 2 things seem to please you the most, I suggested. Distributing your books and building the big temple in Mayapur. Prabhupada's face lit up. his eyes opened wide and he smiled. Yes, you have understood. Then I responded, and I want you to know that I'm ready to give my life to help fulfill your desires. Prabhupada smiled and said, thank you very much. I felt so satisfied by his divine grace. I had understood what he desired. So the next incident in Calcutta, in a way relates to a verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 1, text 5. The translation is, the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. So once in Calcutta, Achyutananda had a conversation with our landlord, a Bengali gentleman named Mr. Rai. The landlord told Achyutananda his version of Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. He said that Lord Chaitanya is the original and that Radha and Krishna come from him. And he said that Lord Chaitanya is even greater and more beautiful than Radha and Krishna, as rasagula is better than milk and sugar. Achyutananda's philosophy, so he approached Srila Prabhupada to understand the truth. I was in the room during this conversation. Whole discussion to Prabhupada. Then he asked, who comes first? Srila Prabhupada replied that Radha and Krishna come first, and that when they combine together, the combination is Lord Chaitanya. The same example. First, milk and sugar exist separately, and then they combine together to make rasagula. Then Achyutananda asked, well, who is greater? Srila Prabhupada paused for some moments, closed his eyes, and then answered, Radharani is greater. Where Srimati Radharani was sitting on a raised platform and Krishna was kneeling at her feet trying to appease her. And Srila Prabhupada said, Srimati Radharani is the greatest. Then he pointed to another picture where baby Krishna was carrying the shoes of Nanda Maharaj on his head and said, Nanda Maharaj is the greatest. Then there was even a picture of Mother Yashoda with a stick and little Krishna cowering in fear. Srila Prabhupada concluded, the devotee is the greatest. So this, in a way, it reminds me of a conversation the Ardha Kumbh Mela in Allahabad. And there was a discussion between Madhuvisa Prabhu and Yamuna Devi. And Madhuvisa Prabhu said that there's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Just Krishna is black and Balaram is white. No, there is another difference. Because Krishna is the only enjoyer of Srimati Radharani. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yamuna Devi said there is another difference. Srimati Radharani. So Tamal Krishna brought the discussion to Srila Prabhupada, and he said, Madhuvisa Prabhu says that there's no difference between Krishna and Balaram, just that Krishna is black and Balaram is white. And Prabhupada said, yes, he is right. And then Tamal Krishna said, but Yamuna Devi says there's another difference because Krishna is the only enjoyer of Srimati Radharani. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, she is right. And Tamal Krishna said, but Srila Prabhupada, they're both saying different things. They both can't be right. And Prabhupada said, yes, you are right. And then Tamal Krishna said, well, then who is right? And Prabhupada said, you decide. So, all right, my dear devotees. Oh, no, there's what? Oh, yes, this is very, very important. Oh, no, this was after the Calcutta Pandal. That was in Delhi. Okay. So this wasn't in Calcutta, this was in Delhi, but it's an important, instructive incident. The father of Rajiv Gupta, a young student who was translating Prabhupada's books into Hindi, came to visit. Bad habit, smoking. So Srila Prabhupada asked the father, have you given up smoking? The father looked down and said, no. But isn't there some special mercy? Can't I get some special mercy to give up smoking? And Srila Prabhupada replied, special mercy? Yes, there is special mercy. Yas yaham anugrinami harishye tadanam shanai. The Lord can give special mercy. And when he does, the first thing he does is he takes away all the devotees' material opulence. Then, when the devotee becomes poverty-stricken, his friends and relatives reject his opulence. He has lost his opulence, and because his so-called friends and family rebuke and neglect him. So yes, there is special mercy. Do you want some special mercy? No, Mr. Gupta replied. That's all right. I don't want any special mercy. I'll do it by my own efforts. All right, my devotees, thank you for listening so patiently and attentively. And now if any of you want to ask any questions or make any comments, share any reflections, you can raise your hand. Yes. Do we have a microphone that can go to the back there?
Oh, thank you, Maharaj, for giving such a nice experience of your conversation with Srila Prabhupada. And just I want to know a little like events that was happened during the Pandal program that you and Tamal Krishna Swami Maharaj was there in the Kolkata Pandal program. So can you give some like events? Thank you.
Yeah, actually something very significant happened. I hope it's here. Well, anyway, it was like this. So at the time, Calcutta was sort of in the grips of Naxalites, like young communists. And so he had the Pandal program at Chaurangi Maidan, and 20,000 people were coming there, more than at the first Bombay Pandal. And before the Pandal program began, there was a press conference at Srila Prabhupada. Because they were of that sort of communist mindset. He asked Srila Prabhupada that, what is the point of spending all this money for this Pandal program when you could use the money to feed poor people? And Srila Prabhupada replied, the whole point is to give people a chance to hear. Because these young boys and girls, my disciples, heard, now they are so anyway, during the Pandal program, as was common, so there were dharis on the ground, and then on one side we had chairs, folding chairs, for life members. 2 rupees, 1 or 2 rupees. So the Naxalites took objection that why some people get to sit on chairs and other people have to sit on the ground. So they started like clapping the chairs together and making a big noise so people couldn't hear Srila Prabhupada speak. So I and, most of the devotees were on the stage with Srila Prabhupada, and so I looked to Srila Prabhupada to see what he would do. And he just leaned into the Govind. Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And it seemed to me almost mystically, by the influence of Srila Prabhupada's pure sound vibration, that those Naxalites who were creating the disturbance, they just stopped what they were doing and they walked away, they just left. So I thought it was very instructive how Srila Prabhupada always depended on Krishna, and also how the potency of the pure sound coming from his mouth, from his heart, had such a powerful effect on these troublemakers. So that was tense for a little while, and then it resolved itself. And there was also, before the Pandal program, Srila Prabhupada received a note, presumably from these communist youth, fly or die. And the note was put together by their cutting out different letters from the newspaper. So no one could trace their handwriting or even their typewriter. But they took out, they cut out different letters and put together this note, fly or die. But Srila Prabhupada didn't do either. He didn't fly away and he didn't die. But there was a lot of undercurrent against Srila Prabhupada's preaching at the time. And the deities were at the Pandal program, and then on the last night there was a procession and the deities were brought back to the temple here. And one other little incident here. One day Yamuna Devi, who was the pujari, she put Krishna's flute in backwards. So one devotee noticed and sort of complained, Yamuna Devi, you put in Krishna's flute backwards. And Yamuna Devi replied by quoting the verse, Sakalendriya Vritti-manti, that Krishna can perform the activities of all the senses with any sense, any one of his senses. So that disciple was not very happy with Yamuna Devi's answer, so that devotee went to Srila Prabhupada and complained that Yamuna Devi put in Krishna's flute backwards. And Srila Prabhupada replied by quoting the exact same verse. So, the transcendental. Any other questions or comments? Yes?
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, under the influence of modes of passion and ignorance, we may waste our whole day and neglect the study of Prabhupada's book. And mind may justify saying that somehow we are engaged in serving the person Bhagavat. So how to save ourselves from that trap and continue?
Yeah, well, we really were serving the person Bhagavat under his direct instructions. But that was exceptional. But ordinarily we should read Srila Prabhupada's books. He gave repeated instructions that we should read his books every day. Sometimes he even said 3 hours a day. But at least every day we should read Srila Prabhupada's books. And I don't think under the present circumstances we can use the excuse that we're serving the person Bhagavat. You're also serving the person Bhagavat by following his instructions to read his books. Once I said to Srila Prabhupada, like way back, maybe 1970, at a program in Bombay, that I read that the only price that we have to pay for getting Krishna is intense eagerness. So if we have intense eagerness, then we don't need to read your books. And Srila Prabhupada replied, well, if you have intense eagerness, then you'll also want to read the books. So that would be my advice to you. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. So happy to have your darshan.
Thank you.
Maharaj, I wanted to ask that Srila Prabhupada gave the instruction that read my books scrutinizingly.
Yes.
So what is the correct way of studying the books so that we fulfill Srila Prabhupada's instruction?
Yes. Well, Srila Prabhupada said intelligence means to see the same thing from different angles of vision. And so, we should study his book scrutinizingly means we should think about what we're reading and, see it from different angles of vision. And my dear godbrother Burijan Das has written an article called Prayerful Reading. And his point there is that while we're reading, we should pray to understand what Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell us personally, what we can, and then we should apply it in our personal lives. So, the books are not just ink on paper, but they're living. We should, we should pray to understand what Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell us personally and then apply it in our lives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, grateful to you for your association. Maharaj, you are discussing that Prabhupada, you asked once Prabhupada that what if after your physical disappearance standard of ISKCON falls, then Prabhupada said you that you are also an integral part of ISKCON. So correct the situation but don't leave. So what exactly it means that to be in ISKCON and not to leave ISKCON?
Are you in ISKCON? Yes, you are. And what makes you say that you're in ISKCON?
Many times we heard or we say that someone is saying that I am following Prabhupada, but they may or may not be directly in so in that sense, how to see it, or this is actually what I wanted to ask actually, Maharaj. I hope I have cleared my question.
Well, Srila Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is 90% association. And he also said he formed the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people the association of devotees. And so I would say being a member of ISKCON or being a part of ISKCON means associating with the devotees in ISKCON. And an association includes hearing from them and also rendering service to them. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami has enumerated 64 items of devotional service. And of the 64, he says that 5 are most potent, and even a slight association with even one of them can awaken dormant love for Krishna. So the five are Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtana, Bhagavat Shravana, Mathura Vasa, and Murti Sharanvita Sevana. The first item is Sadhu Sangha, and Rupa Goswami gives us a specific definition of Sadhu Sangha. Swajati ashaye snigde sadhu sangha swato vare. So Swajatiya, in a literal sense, means belonging to the same caste or community. In our context, it would mean followers of Srila Prabhupada. Swajati ashaye snigde. Snigde means the sadhu should be affectionate to you. Swajati ashaye snigde sadhu sangha swatovare. And swatovare means the sadhu should be more advanced than you are. So that's the actual definition of sadhu sangha. And we should avail of the opportunity for sadhu sangha in ISKCON. And that will nourish our spiritual lives. There were a couple of more questions.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Thank you for inspiring class. My question is, when we are practicing Krishna consciousness or serving spiritual master, so we face some challenges like personal weakness or health issues or many services or weak sadhana. So how to remain fixed in the service of spiritual master and practice Krishna consciousness very solidly?
Again, I would say good association. Good association is a most important factor in our spiritual lives. But I mean, if you're sick, you also have to take care of your health. Srila Prabhupada once said, first health, then sadhana, then service. And another time he said, first health, then chanting, then service, then reading. So health is important. He wrote me a letter when I was sick in India, and he said, you must take care of your body. It is dedicated to the service of Krishna. And so the best course is to take rest along with the doctor's prescription and chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna is Bhavoshadi. It is the cure for the material disease. So we have to take care of our health. That's also part of our service to Guru and Krishna. I mean, we shouldn't pamper our bodies, obviously, but we should, maintain body and soul together in a healthy way so we can do service. There's a number over here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. We are being told that we should judge ourselves and see in which mode of nature we are. Are we guided by mode of ignorance or mode of passion? And then we should take necessary steps to elevate our consciousness. But we do have a cheating propensity. For example, I might have anger issues, but I'm bent on proving it to myself that I do not have anger issues. So in that case, how do we ensure that we are outright honest with ourselves and we are actually striving to elevate our consciousness and not cheating ourselves?
Well, the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes devotional service influenced by the different modes of nature. And Srila Prabhupada has paraphrased it. And he says that a devotee influenced by the mode of ignorance will think, I'm the only devotee. Everyone else is nonsense. A devotee influenced by the mode of passion will think, I want to be known as the best devotee. A devotee influenced by the mode of goodness will think, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. And a devotee who is transcendentally situated will think, I just want to serve Krishna and please Krishna. So, we can sort of guess what mode we are being influenced by, and at different times we might be influenced by different modes, certainly. But we should try to elevate ourselves, and in that effort, a sincere attentive japa is crucial. And then along with that, reading Srila Prabhupada's books and sharing the knowledge in Srila Prabhupada's books, either by distributing his books or by repeating the message in Srila Prabhupada's books. And that will help you elevate your consciousness.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. What to do in situations when we are not able to get, in student life, you are not able to get association of devotees or get time for reading Prabhupada books. So how to handle ourselves, how to make our devotional life still go in a upward graph and not go in a downward graph?
Well, balance is very important in Krishna consciousness. So we have to balance our studies with our sadhana. We can't neglect our studies, but at the same time, we don't want to neglect our sadhana. And students all have time for recreation. And so a student who's a devotee can use that time that the other students use for recreation in mundane ways. He can use the time for bhakti yoga. So that has to be part of your life as a student, along with your studies. Yeah. And people may know you're a devotee, so if you do well in your studies, it will reflect well on Krishna consciousness. And if you don't do well in your studies, it will be a bad reflection on Krishna consciousness. So you can also see it as a service to do well in your studies, so that people get a positive impression of Krishna consciousness. When Mataji here, she had her hand up for a long time.
Can you tell me what color Radharaj Bihari ji chose to wear the day Hare Krishna land was inaugurated?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you tell me the color Radharaj Bihari ji chose to wear the day Hare Krishna land was inaugurated?
It's probably in the book. I don't recall offhand. But yeah, it was a glorious occasion, for sure.
I have one more question.
Sorry?
I have one more question.
All right.
When somebody narrates Bhagavatam to us, they sing the verses instead of speaking them. So did Krishna and Arjuna also converse like that? Were they singing the tone?
Yes, they were.
So it was never spoken, it was always sung.
Yeah. Gita means song.
I have one more question. So my family is always complaining that I don't have time for them. By the time they return from work, I sleep so that I can wake up for Mangala Aarti. And when I come back from the morning program, they have already left for work. So how do I give them time and also give Krishna time?
Wait, are you talking about your children?
No, my parents.
Oh, your parents. Okay, so now I get it. So repeat the question, now that I know you're talking about your parents.
My parents are always complaining that I don't have time for them because by the time they return home from work, I've slept so that I can wake up at 3. And when I return home from the morning program, they've already left for work. So in the meantime, I don't have any time to give them. How can I form a balance?
What about having them come with you to the morning program?
They don't come.
Well, once in a while, I mean, it is a sacrifice, but we also don't want to, we don't want our parents to blame Krishna consciousness. So once in a while, you can maybe miss the morning program or something so that you can spend time with them. Because, yeah, we don't want them to blame Krishna consciousness for taking their daughter away from them. Okay.
Hare Krishna, all my obeisances to your lotus feet, Maharaj. How long were you associated with Tushar Kanti Ghosh?
Associated with?
Tushar Kanti Ghosh.
Oh, Tarun Kanti
Tarun
Ghosh.
Kanti Ghosh.
Oh, I think I probably met him in 1970. Yeah. So some decades, yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. When one day or just 1-2 days the chanting, it's quite considerably better than the previous day, or when someone asks questions and we just give 1-2 shlokas as reference, then a pride sort of comes in, and it's disturbing, the pride that the chanting is so good, so I am probably the chosen one. So this sort of feeling comes. So how to save myself from that feeling? It's quite disturbing.
Well, you should not take credit for yourself. We have to make our effort, but if there's some good result, we should take it as Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy, the mercy of the parampara, not take credit for ourselves and not be proud, obviously. Yeah, we're not the doers. We make our effort, but the main factor in our success is mercy. And we should always be aware of that fact. There are a number of hands up. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My question is that last year's Pushpa Abhishek festival at ISKCON Chowpatty, His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj shared that you and he have a pact that you won't go to spiritual world without each other. I lack understanding how these vows are fulfilled. Please give some understanding.
Yeah, so he and I were taking prasad together one day in Mauritius, and I don't know, it just came out like that neither of us would go back to Godhead without the other. So I guess if someone is eligible to go back to Godhead, he's in a position to help someone else go back to Godhead. So that was our pact. Another time we were having prasad together in South Africa, and our hosts, they kept bringing more prasad, and I kept saying, let us know what else is coming so we know how to pace ourselves. And then he would say, well, this is the last one, but then he'd bring more. So I turned to introduce Swami and I said, what's going on? How do we deal with this? And Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. So Indradyumna Swami replied, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one should not eat too much or eat too little. So today we're focusing on not eating too little. Anyway, yeah. There were a few other hands up.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So Maharaj, sometimes I don't have the clarity about the way I am conducting my spiritual life. And then the solution which is given is that consult your seniors. Consult your seniors. But then I am not able to put absolute trust on the seniors because of various reasons. One of the reasons is that their advice may not just appeal to me. Second reason is that different seniors seem to have seemingly opposite opinions. And then solution is given just here to one. And that one maybe your spiritual master, but we don't have access to a spiritual master. Then solution is given that here his lectures. And by hearing his lectures, we are not able to get the clarity. So what is the solution? How to work out this?
Well, Srila Prabhupada said that if a group of mature devotees who are your well-wishers give you an instruction, you should take it as coming from Krishna. So you're facing difficulties because the different authorities who are giving you different instructions are not together. So it might take a little effort, but it would be worth the exercise if you could have them as your well-wishers sit together and jointly tell you what they want of you. That would be the best solution. Otherwise, you're going to be caught with all these different opinions coming from all these different seniors. Or at least get the majority of them. If you can't get all of them, at least get the majority of them. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for connect our consciousness to the Krishna's lotus feet again with your golden and divine words. Prabhu, I have a simple question. How to attain Krishna and Radharani's love and mercy in a quickest, easiest and shortest way? And stay connected with that.
Srila Prabhupada said the way to develop the love of the gopis for Krishna is to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. There's a lady over here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my obeisances. Maharaj, how do we increase our lalasa, our eagerness to serve the Lord and His devotees?
How do you increase your
Eagerness, the
your
lalasa, like Rupa Goswami says.
Yeah. Well, good, sincere, attentive japa and reading Srila Prabhupada's books. There's a beautiful quotation in the Nectar of Devotion. It's actually a paraphrase of a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which says, let me become a sincere servant of the devotees. By serving the devotees, one becomes freed from all material inauspiciousness and develops devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there's so many verses about the benefit of serving devotees. And by reading about the benefits of serving devotees, then you should naturally become more eager to serve them. And also, it is said that you acquire the qualities of a person whom you serve. So, we want to serve all the devotees, but if we see some devotee who has some particular quality that we want to get, then we can make a special effort to serve that devotee or those devotees. Yeah. There's so many verses. Yeah. Mahat Seva Dwara Mahur Vimuktes. By serving great souls, the door to liberation is open. Yes? Behind.
Pranam Maharaj, I have a question. How to decrease that tendency of mind to commit offenses? Like I want to commit lesser offenses. How to do that, Maharaj?
You mean mental offenses?
Mental offenses.
Well, fortunately, in Kali Yuga, well, let's start with Sattva Yuga. In Sattva Yuga, if you think of doing something good, you don't get any benefit. But if you think of something bad, you get the result. But in Kali Yuga, if you think of something bad, you don't get the result. You actually have to do something bad. But if you just think of doing something good, even if you don't do it, you get the benefit. So it's a special condition, special dispensation for us fallen souls in Kali Yuga. But another solution, in a way, is to chant loudly. Like once I mentioned to Srila Prabhupada, I had trouble controlling my mind while I was chanting, and he said, chant loudly. So that's another approach. Hare Krishna. Yes?
Thank you, Maharaj, to giving this wonderful class. My question is, as a devotee, one must follow four regulative principles, and following four regulative principles, chant 16 rounds. So, doing this, that desperateness is not there to get love of Godhead. So, how to develop the desperateness to develop the love of God in Maharaj? This is my question.
Well, what you described is the minimum requirement to be initiated, to chant minimum 16 rounds daily and follow the four regulative principles. But the ultimate goal is to develop love of Godhead, prema pumartho mahan. And there's in the nectar of instruction, the Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami lists 6 items that are favorable for devotional service and 6 items that spoil devotional service. And one of the items that spoils devotional service is niyamagraha, which can be divided in 2 ways, niyam agraha and niyam agraha. And one means to follow the rules and regulations fanatically without knowing the purpose. So the purpose ultimately is to develop love of God. And so if we don't have that purpose in mind, then it's like niyamagraha. And then the other meaning is to not follow the rules and regulations and to act independently and whimsically. So either way, niyamagraha will spoil our devotional service. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Right behind you. You have the microphone right behind you.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful experiences and all the nectarian memories from Srila Prabhupada's times. I have one question in my mind. Srila Prabhupada traveled the entire globe. He went to different countries to preach. He must have adopted different strategies in preaching in West. And when he came to India, maybe he had some different measures. When he sent you to Madras, you had to face many challenging circumstances because of the impersonalist philosophies prevailing over there. So, what was Prabhupada's strategy in spreading Krishna consciousness in Bengal or places in and around Kolkata? So that because here also, Prabhupada preached, and when he sent devotees for preaching, any specific instruction did he give to you? How to deal with people and how to put across or message of Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
He didn't give me any specific instructions as such, but I was cultivating some big people, and he said that I should give them prasad. So yeah, I would always, when I would meet them, I would always give them some prasad. And another thing he said, because many Bengalis eat fish, so in one talk he said that eating fish is worse than eating cow's flesh. He said, if you want, you can eat cow's flesh, but don't eat fish. So of course they're not going to eat cow's flesh, but he was really making the point about that they should not eat fish. Yes, the microphone.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you very much for the class. You mentioned the importance of serving devotees, and you also mentioned that by serving we also take something from them. And service to the spiritual master is perfect, yet we also like to serve devotees, and we are not perfect, yet we love to serve devotees. So how to handle that? Because you mentioned the importance of serving devotees and how other things from the devotees may affect our consciousness.
No, you love to serve the devotees. That's wonderful. What's the problem?
I understood that we get it depends of the devotees, or it depends of whom we are
Well, you
serving.
get their good qualities. You're not going to get their bad qualities. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. I have this question that Krishna consciousness teaches us to be nice to everyone, but this world is full of hypocrisy and one cannot survive if one is always nice to everyone. So how to deal with this world's hypocrisy while maintaining our nice attitude to everyone? Or if circumstances oblige us to be rude to someone sometimes, then how should one deal with it? How to be smart enough so that the materialistic people are not able to cheat or bully us, and at the same time setting an example before others as a source of inspiration to choose, so that they are also able to choose this path of Krishna consciousness.
Well, you can be nice to people, but it doesn't mean that you let them cheat you or take advantage of you. Be nice means that in your interaction, you should be nice to them, but not let them, cheat you or take advantage of you. Yeah, be nice means, yeah, you should be pleasant in your interactions with them, but it doesn't mean that you let them take advantage of you or cheat you or, yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the class. Maharaj,
generally it is we are expected to cooperate so that this movement can go forward. But generally it is seen that when we protest against others' sense gratification, they get offended. And cooperation basically means that we assist in others' sense gratification. So how do we ensure that we are humble at the same time, we cooperate in a way that the movement is going forward in the right direction?
I didn't follow the question.
Maharaj, like cooperation we should do so that this movement can go ahead.
Yes.
But generally we see that in name of cooperation, it is more or less that you supply my sense gratification. You allow, then I will feel that you are cooperating. Else we say that we are not cooperating when we protest against someone doing sense gratification. So how do we properly present so that, in the right direction we are cooperating?
Well, cooperation means that we work together to serve Srila Prabhupada and spread Krishna consciousness. I mean, if someone is indulging in sense gratification and you want to advise them not to do so, Srila Prabhupada said if criticism is offered with sympathy, it's more likely to be accepted. So if you have genuine care and concern for the person and advise the person to give up his sense gratification, then it should be appreciated. Yeah, cooperate doesn't mean you let them do nonsense. That's not the meaning of cooperation. It's a misinterpretation. Two more.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have a question. While chanting, our mind gets distracted. So, what to do to concentrate on the holy name of Krishna? How to chanting consequently?
Yes, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever and from wherever the mind wanders, you should bring it under the control of the self. So our minds will wander when we chant, but when it wanders, we have to bring it back. We have to make the effort. It's a battle, but that battle has to be fought. We can't just surrender and let the mind go everywhere. And there are good books about japa. His Grace Burijan Das has written a book. The name of the book is Japa. So reading that book will help you. His Holiness Sachinandan Swami has written a number of books about japa. And of course, rising early in the morning, chanting in front of Tulsi, chanting in front of deities, chanting with other devotees who are sincere chanters, all those things will help you with your chanting. So one.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I wanted to ask you that you have served Srila Prabhupada personally, and you must have felt some anxiousness while you're serving, like it has to be perfect. Like when we serve our spiritual master, we feel so much anxiety, or you serve the deities. How do you overcome those anxieties and serve them nicely without that anxiety taking over?
Well, anxiety can mean like anxiety is a bad thing, that you're in anxiety, or it can mean like you're anxious to do the best you can. So we should be anxious to do the best we can, but we shouldn't be in anxiety because we should know that, the spiritual master is merciful. He will appreciate our effort, even if it's not perfect. And depending on the circumstances, if we make some mistake, he might correct us for our benefit. But we shouldn't be in anxiety in a negative sense, because, spiritual master is kind. All right, so one last question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I would, as we have been taught that we are servant of the servants and we have to remain servant of the servants. So while serving our Shiksha Guru or our spiritual master, we at times get very close to them by serving them regularly, by being their associates. Invariably, at times, we tend to forget that we are also servant of the servant, and we make mistakes. Unconsciously, we make mistakes and do Vaishnava aparadhs. So how do we be careful that we do not make such mistakes?
How do you commit Vaishnava aparadh?
Pardon?
You're serving your Shiksha Gurus or your Diksha Guru, then where does the question of Vaishnava aparadh come?
At times when we are serving a Shiksha Guru, we are hurting other devotees. By thinking that we are pleasing our Shiksha Guru, but we are invariably hurting other devotees, which we do not come to know also, which we do not realize. It's later on that sometimes when we come to know from other devotees that this all had happened, we really feel very sad, and that unknowingly we have committed a mistake.
Well, I guess just approach the devotee and say you heard that you hurt the devotee, you didn't intend to do so, and you're sorry, and ask if you can do anything to make it up to them, and ask them to forgive you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay.
We are really blessed. Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
Good evening, Maharaj. I was unable to come due to unforeseen circumstances to attend. I was unable to come due to unforeseen circumstances since my mother is very ailing and old. She's 87, so I've left her alone and come. How I've managed only I know. The thing out here is, I read this Bhagavad Gita as it is 3 times, okay? And I was searching for certain extracts. I had 3-4 questions, all right? And I was wanting somebody to help me find that particular extracts of those 3-4 questions. That is my only problem. If you can also guide me, I'll show you the one which I've read. This one. Yeah, but so this is the one I've read, or from Srimad Bhagavatam. If all those 3-4 questions which I have, if I can get it on WhatsApp, that extract, that will really help me. Otherwise, I have, pretty good knowledge about this.
Mm-hmm. So do we have any learned devotees here in Calcutta who can... What is your name? Puridasa. This is Puridasa. He is said to be a very learned devotee.
Okay.
And whatever questions you have, you ask him.
Yeah, Maharaj ji, you seem very seasoned, you know, a very old timer.
Well, you can.
So you would know much more than him. It's not that I doubt him. It's not that I doubt him. It's
You
just
can
that
email me. You can email me.
he'll be
I'll
lost
give
in
you
the
my
highway.
email address.
Yeah, but he'll be lost in the highway. I've got 10,000 unread emails. WhatsApp is the best which I'm on the social media. So, you know, it'll be very close and near and dear to me. Okay, let him try. Let him try first. The other devotees have failed, by the way, just to let you know.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, we are feeling that you have come like a cloud and showering us Srila Prabhupada's mercy in Srila Prabhupada's birthplace. We're so very grateful to you. So we'll thank you once more by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are very happy that we have got Maharaj's association this evening. So those who want to take Maharaj in their homes, so you can take Maharaj's books. So there are books like Watering the Seed, Many Moons, Life's Final Exam, Death, I'll Build You a Temple, and the most recent book, Dancing White Elephants. And very mercifully, Maharaj will sign if you take the book. And Prasadam is there for all the devotees in the temple kitchen. There is no requirement of any coupon. You can just go and have your Prasadam. His Holiness Giriraj Swami Guru Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
What life? What life?
They'll bring it here. Prabhu. Maharaj need a place. Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, Dharam.